between Shanice and Ted on today's new episode of Beyond the Gates, y'all. Leslie finna lose the last little bit of sense she got. Vernon was helping Martin with his campaign. Vanessa ready to show Joey off at Winterfest. Even Isaiah was talking about their second date. Shanice and Ted got stuck in the elevator. And the last thing is that Vernon told Joey to stay away from Martin's campaign. But hey, y'all. Welcome back to another review of Life of Chesty for Beyond the Gates, December the 3rd, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. What y'all think that y'all liked the episode? Okay, look. Yesterday's episode was interesting, y'all. I just watched it this morning. I should have did a review, but y'all watched it this morning. I was like, oh my goodness, that was good. Look, I had so many thoughts about that. I might still drop a video. I don't know. But yeah, on today's new episode, I guess we're gonna start submitting them. Oh, and I got a question. Who do y'all think Samantha called? Because she was like she wanted them to come to Orphanages or whatever. And I was like, did she call Nathan? If she did, nobody should be surprised. Because I've been studying saying, I said, she gonna end up, I don't think she's learned anything. Because anytime they continue to tell her anything about Nathan, even after they said what they said, Terrell and what's his girlfriend name, Jessica, even after they told what they heard him saying, she still looked like she wanted them. Now I don't know, we just gotta wait to see who she called over or whatever. I said sneaky tail. I said she's so sneaky. Hold on. But yeah, so the episode was just June was talking to them about Thanksgiving and all this other stuff. Terrell made a little smart comment, and Samantha and Smitty was telling him about himself. And, you know, he just revealed he's still upset about the whole Jessica situation, the fact that she going to a different college. He ends up saying he don't know how, or he's afraid to tell her that he think he falling in love with her, that he's in love with her or whatever. And Smitty was just encouraging him about that. They was waiting on Martin to come. Samantha was talking to June. She ends up saying something about what she said. Hold on, let me find it first. Let me make sure. Where'd it go? Oh, June. They was talking about June was worried she'll lose her hours, and she said then she'll lose her health care. And Samantha was questioning her about it, and she was like, ever since she got in there, haven't been what they used to be. Her lungs not the same or whatever. And she asked her why she don't just go to the doctor. And she basically said, you know, when you living on the streets or you don't have an address or whatever, you know, they don't really want to help you. And so Samantha, when Martin got there, Samantha was talking about starting a free clinic. And he was like, they just can't do that. They got to have all type of resources and stuff. And they was like, what's the good of it? It's for you to, Lord. What good is it for you to be a congressman if you can't do nothing with it? I said, message, because it's like they, to me, in my opinion, I feel like they put more energy towards stuff that don't matter, or it does matter, but not always. When the majority of the time, they put more energy and funds towards stuff that don't matter versus stuff that actually do matter. They'll send money and stuff like that to different countries and everything else. Meanwhile, folks struggling here. But yeah, that's enough about that. But yeah, so he told Terrell and Samantha to work on ideas to see, you know, how they would go about this and stuff like that. So he's supposed to be trying to work on it. I mean, Vernon, didn't he tell him to come up with a way to show people that, you know, he relates to them and he understands and stuff like that? Maybe that free clinic would be it. Maybe it'll be it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Maybe the free clinic would be it. I don't know. But yeah, I knew once Martin had told Vernon about Joey, I said, he better not take his tail. I said, I bet he better not take his tail over there. Why y'all keep going over here talking crazy to Joey? Why y'all keep talking crazy to him? And I said, I'm glad that Joey reminded Vernon, like, you one of the same. Y'all the same. Y'all saw him out. Y'all didn't have to seek him out. Which leads me to Vernon and Martin. So they end up meeting up, and they were just talking about his campaign. Vernon was helping him, giving him ideas and stuff like that. That's when later in the episode, he ends up telling him that Joey tried to give him a check, but he told him that he don't want to use it. So at the end of the episode, Vernon went to see Joey and told him to stay away from Martin's campaign. And Joey was like, basically, you trying to judge me, but we wasn't the same. I said, exactly. Excuse me. I said, exactly. One and the same. What you talking about? That's the same thing. The same way they be talking to Bill. But y'all all, anytime something go wrong, who they call? When Nicole said, I'm the fixer now. What you don't fix, girl? I said, what you don't fix? But yeah, she said she the fixer now. I said, well, you might as well prepare us to fix the next thing, because your family stay into something. They stay into something. But yeah, Vanessa and Joey. So She went there. She was telling him how she don't care who knows that she's involved with him. So she ready to show him off. She wanted to know why he had got up and left. And he was basically telling her he's trying to spare her. She kept on reminding him that she don't care what they say or whatever. But she want him. That's the person that she with and all this other stuff. That's the first time she felt this way in a long time. And all this other stuff. She ends up saying that she know the perfect place to, show them that they involved. The Winterfest. And he told her no. And she was mad about it. And he was like, I need to remind you, or should I remind you that, we laundering money. You don't want nobody to know. She still was upset. I said, well, take your man till on there. There at first, I've been studying saying that maybe she working him. But no, I'm not too sure no more. I'm not too sure no more. But yeah, what else? What else happened with them? Vanessa asked Joey if he's ashamed to be with her. And he was like, no, he was like trying to look out for her. He's trying to protect her and all this other stuff. He reminds her that they laundering money. She got mad and she left. She was drinking and stuff at the club. That's when Diego came and she was saying how Joey didn't want to be her date. So she asked Diego to be her date. And he was like, no, look, he know who Joey is. He know who Joey is. I said, he know what Joey will do to him. Oh wait, I skipped the part. She was like, okay, I got an idea then. What if we come separately and then we just happen to cross paths at the Winterfest? And he still was like, no. Isaiah and Eva. I like them. I like them together. But I feel like something gonna go wrong. I feel like someone's gonna bring his tail over here. Now that she with somebody or trying to be with somebody, he gonna bring his little happy tail over here, his little confused tail over here, interfering. But yeah, they were sitting down, they kissed and all this other stuff, and they were just talking about where they should go for their second date, just going over ideas. They got interrupted once again because Ted was stuck in the elevator with Shanice, and he needed her to cancel his appointments or reschedule his appointments. So she ended up doing that. So Isaiah ended up inviting her to his place, and she was like, "Nah, we can't do that right there." She was like, "No, she don't want to move too fast, and she doesn't want to get her heart broke or waste her time." Because the last situation that she was involved in, it didn't turn out so good. And I said, don't worry, he'll be back. But yeah, and she ends up declining. And she said she gonna be worth the wait. And he was like, he believe it and everything. And I said, I want them to be together. I like them. I don't know how I feel about Shanice and Ted just yet. We shall see. Speaking of Shanice and Ted, so first they bumped into each other. He ends up helping her pick up the paperwork. They go on the elevator. The elevator ends up getting stuck. So he ends up saying it's a lot that he doesn't know about her. So she was telling him about herself. And they just sitting down and everything. I was waiting on the kiss because people instead of saying they supposed to kiss. And I thought it was going to be during the elevator scene. And I also thought we was going to see Leslie see them kiss or something like that. But yeah, sparks was kind of flying between them. And once again, I don't know how I feel about them just yet. How do y'all feel? Are y'all rooting for them? Let me know. But yeah, they was just talking and having a nice little conversation. Now, before that, let's backtrack. When they dropped the papers or whatever, they reached for the same paper and they was just looking at each other and stuff like that. I said, ooh, we see you. But no. But yeah, nothing happened. They just spent some time together talking. They spent some time talking about her and how she grew up and all this other stuff. And the elevator ended up opening and they left out. And that's all that happened with them. And the last thing is Joey and Vernon, and I basically already talked about them. He ends up telling him to stay away from Martin's campaign. He told him that Martin already declined his check. He said that Martin already declined his check, so you ain't got to worry about that. And I was like, they're going to get enough by telling this man what to do. I said, they don't learn, do they? Y'all going to disappear like Doug. But yeah, but I think that's everything, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, do